Did the Las Vegas Aces really beat the Indiana Fever? Or did the referees decide the outcome before the final buzzer? From the opening tip-off, this series wasn't just basketball. It was a battlefield of tension, emotion, and controversy. Every possession carried weight, not only on the scoreboard, but on the very integrity of the game itself. A'ja Wilson, Las Vegas's star guard, walked to the free throw line 26 times across 5 games. Meanwhile, Aliyah Boston, the league's most dominant post defender and a force on offense in the paint, went 0 for free throws in the first 2 games and only 17 in the entire series. Fans couldn't help but ask, was this an ordinary competitive discrepancy or something far more deliberate? In the fourth quarter of one early game, Wilson barreled through defenders like a human freight train, absorbing calls that shouldn't have been made. Later, in overtime with 2 minutes left, a moving screen went entirely uncalled in one of the game's most critical moments. Meanwhile, Boston fouled out for what seemed like a minor contact. The arena erupted in disbelief, and viewers at home could barely believe what they were seeing. Today, we're diving deep. Free throws, fouls, moving screens, phantom calls. We'll dissect the statistics in the tape to show why this series has been labeled stolen, and you'll hear what Boston herself had to say. About the series that many believe was manipulated by officiating, only A'ja Wilson could get away with what she did on the court. Watch the tape closely, and the pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Her feet leave the ground illegally, yet no whistle sounds. She double dribbles during spins, touches the ball with 2 hands mid-move, and travels while gathering it. Moves that, under any other circumstance, would draw immediate penalties. And yet, the referees stayed silent. ESPN even labeled some of these sequences as highlights, treating clear rule violations like moments of genius, celebrating them instead of enforcing the game. The disparity was breathtaking. Contrast this with Aliyah Boston, the cornerstone of Indiana's defense. Every possession, she absorbed elbows in the post, took bumps on drives, battled through aggressive screens, and contested shots with unwavering focus. She protected the rim, anchored the defense, and locked onto Wilson possession after possession, all while keeping her composure. And still, the fouls rarely went her way. Across the 5-game series, Boston accumulated 19 fouls, while Wilson, despite repeatedly bending the rules, was called for just 14. The screens told the story in even starker detail. Wilson's illegal footwork and moving screens went uncalled 37 times throughout the series, almost 8 per game. Each one cleared a defender, created open lanes, and shifted momentum in Las Vegas's favor. The pattern wasn't subtle, it was systematic, and fans noticed immediately. Social media exploded with slowed-down clips and analysis, while commentators debated the implications endlessly. Boston herself addressed the imbalance, capturing the frustration of a season-long injustice. I think there's a double standard in how calls are made. I am often the worst officiated post player in the league. If it's going to be physical, call it both ways. But that consistency never came. The evidence is undeniable. The stats weren't just numbers. They were a roadmap showing one side consistently benefiting, while the other suffered under selective enforcement. Each whistle that didn't blow, each screen left unchecked, was another brick in a wall of advantage built for one team, leaving Boston and the Fever to battle not only their opponents, but a system that refused to call the game fairly. The first 2 games of the series set a tone that would linger ominously for the rest of the playoffs. Aliyah Boston, the centerpiece of the Fever, the anchor in the paint, didn't take a single free throw, not one. Meanwhile, A'ja Wilson seemed untouchable, drawing whistles for the slightest brushes, moving through defenders with an almost otherworldly freedom. The disparity was impossible to ignore. The imbalance wasn't subtle, it was glaring. Watch the tape, and the picture becomes painfully clear. Boston was shoved, hit on the arms, knocked off balance in plain view, and yet the referees looked the other way. Every post-up she fought through, every rebound she contested, went largely unacknowledged. Meanwhile, illegal screens by Wilson created wide-open lanes, allowing easy three-pointers and layups. In one sequence alone, 4 uncalled offensive fouls directly led to 10 points for Las Vegas. When multiplied across the 37 uncalled violations over the series, the effect was staggering. The numbers weren't just statistics. They were a roadmap of a series that felt orchestrated, a championship path seemingly paved by selective enforcement rather than competition. Fans didn't stay silent. Social media erupted immediately. Clips slowed down to highlight every missed call, every phantom whistle, every moment that defied fairness. Analysts debated on air. Was this simply human error, or was the series being actively managed in favor of one team? And Boston's words resonated with everyone watching, capturing the frustration of players and fans alike. It's not consistent, and it's not fair. If the game is going to be physical, it should be for both sides. Her voice carried authority and truth, a reflection of every defender denied the calls they deserved and every possession stolen by selective enforcement. The Fever weren't just playing against the Aces, they were battling against a system that seemed determined to tilt the scales, and yet they refused to stop fighting. Each game became a testament not only to skill but to perseverance, courage, and a refusal to be defined by injustice. Game 5 was meant to be the ultimate showdown, a high-stakes battle between two of the league's brightest stars, a defining moment to showcase skill, endurance, and competitive spirit. Instead, it unfolded like a war not only against the opponent, but against the referees themselves. Every call, every non-call, and every questionable whistle seemed to tilt the balance before a single basket could decide the game. Boston, the anchor of Indiana's defense, fouled out under circumstances that felt almost surreal. Phantom calls removed her from crucial possessions, stripping the Fever of their most dominant presence in the paint. Meanwhile, Wilson continued to walk to the line almost at will, earning free throws with minimal contact, while her defenders absorbed punishment that went unacknowledged. The final minutes of regulation and overtime became a theater of frustration. Las Vegas hit 13 free throws in just 2 minutes, building a lead not through skill alone, but with the help of a series of calls that consistently favored them. Illegal moving screens went entirely unpunished, leaving Indiana defenders scrambling to recover, often too late to stop open shots. The Fever's carefully constructed defensive schemes collapsed without Boston orchestrating the middle, and suddenly, every possession felt like an uphill battle stacked against them. This wasn't merely basketball, it was a battle of endurance against circumstance, a test of character under pressure, and a game manipulated by selective officiating. Every possession, every rotation, every contested rebound became a small battle within a larger war. Yet even under this immense pressure, the Fever refused to yield. They fought with heart, grit, and unity, pushing through frustration and fatigue, refusing to let unfair calls dictate their effort or resolve. Each possession was a testament to their resilience, proving that no amount of bias could suppress the spirit of a team determined to fight until the final buzzer. Despite the bias, the Fever didn't fold. Odyssey Sims, signed late on a hardship contract, poured in 27 points in Game 5, leading stretches where the team appeared utterly exhausted. Every time Las Vegas attempted to seize momentum, Sims answered, orchestrating offense with precision, finding open teammates, and driving the ball through a wall of defenders. Her composure under pressure was remarkable, almost as if she were daring the officials to ignore her impact. And still, Indiana fought against a tide that seemed stacked against them. Lexi Hull, battling a nagging back injury that had limited her mobility all season, refused to be sidelined in this pivotal moment. Every three-pointer she sank was a dagger to Las Vegas's hopes of running away with the game. Beyond scoring, Hull's defensive tenacity disrupted key plays, particularly against Jackie Young, forcing the Aces into difficult rotations and contested shots. Her grit was a reminder that toughness is measured not just in points, but in every contested play, every forced turnover, and every sprint down the court when your body is telling you to rest. Kelsey Mitchell, meanwhile, displayed an almost superhuman determination. Cramping and exhaustion threatened to remove her from the game entirely, yet she continued to attack the rim, pull up for mid-range jumpers, and create opportunities for her teammates. Each shot she made felt like a statement. Indiana would not back down. At the center of it all stood Aliyah Boston. She was relentless in the post, contesting every rebound, absorbing contact, and making defensive rotations with surgical precision. For every trip Wilson earned to the line, Boston generated a possession that kept Indiana alive. She didn't merely play basketball, she carried the team on her back, a tower of resilience in a series clouded by questionable officiating. Fans online erupted with disbelief and admiration, dissecting clips frame by frame, highlighting the bias that skewed the series. Commentators debated the three pivotal calls in Game 5 that changed the trajectory of the game, yet the Fever's resolve never wavered. Through every unjust whistle and every questionable call, Indiana's players showcased skill, heart, and the kind of courage that transcends statistics. Their fight wasn't just for points, it was for pride, for integrity, and for the chance to prove that even in the shadow of unfairness, true competitors never give up. Players spoke candidly after the grueling series, revealing the mindset that carried them through the storm of controversy. Odyssey Sims, a late-season addition who had quickly become a cornerstone for the Fever, reflected on the team's resilience. Tomorrow, we start again. We can't hold on to it. We learn and move forward. Her words weren't just about basketball, they were about life, about refusing to let disappointment and unfair circumstances define them. Every setback, every miscall, every challenge became fuel for the next day. Aliyah Boston, the team's defensive anchor and emotional leader, offered a mantra that echoed throughout the locker room. We over me. That's our mindset. It's not about excuses. It's about progress and coming back stronger. She didn't dwell on what had been taken from them, the phantom fouls, the biased officiating, or the lost opportunities. Instead, she focused on growth, on the collective spirit of a team that refused to fold even when the odds were stacked against them. Her words carried weight, not just as inspiration, but as a promise that this story was far from over. Even players sidelined by injury, like Caitlin Clark, voiced pride in their teammates' performance. She spoke not just as a teammate, but as a witness to their courage. Every contested possession, every rebound fought for despite the calls going against them, and every point scored under immense pressure became a testament to their determination. Each obstacle, every biased call, every phantom foul, they faced it all head-on, not with defeat, but with resilience, grit, and unwavering focus. This team had been tested like few others, and yet their spirit remained unbroken. Look at the numbers again. 26 free throws for Wilson, 17 for Boston, 37 uncalled moving screens, fouls, 14 for Wilson, 19 for Boston. Every single layer of evidence points in one direction, one team consistently receiving favorable treatment, while the other was forced to fight uphill under an uneven set of rules. It wasn't just about points on the stat sheet. It was about opportunities denied, momentum stolen, and the very flow of the game manipulated. In Game 5, the bias became undeniable. The final minutes were a whirlwind of whistles and phantom calls that seemed to exist in an alternate reality. Boston, the heart and anchor of Indiana's defense, was disqualified at the worst possible moments. Every time she attempted to assert herself in the post, she was penalized. Every time she battled for a rebound or contested a shot, the referees seemed to have pre-decided who would be protected. Meanwhile, Wilson continued to earn trips to the line for the softest contact, seemingly immune to the rules that constrained everyone else. Indiana struggled to maintain rhythm. Offensive sets that had worked flawlessly all series were disrupted. Fast breaks slowed, and defensive rotations became more difficult as key players were sidelined due to fouls. Yet, despite this stacked deck, the Fever refused to break. Each possession was a battle, every rebound a small victory, every contested shot a statement. They would not allow unfair officiating to define their season. This wasn't a team defeated by talent or skill, it was a team denied fairness, yet steadfast in their resolve, showing the kind of resilience that defines champions, even when the scoreboard doesn't reflect it. The human moments were the most compelling. Boston anchored the paint, Sims orchestrated offense under pressure, Hull played through injury, Mitchell gutted through physical limits. Their effort wasn't measured in stats, it was measured in heart. Quotes from the locker room highlighted their bond. "This has been my best year." The connection we built is incredible. We're sisters on the court. Even when external circumstances worked against them, their unity, focus, and determination defined the Fever's season. This series sends a powerful message. Bias and selective officiating can alter outcomes, but courage, resilience, and teamwork leave lasting legacies. The Fever showed that the fight isn't just for points or wins, it's for integrity, respect, and opportunity. Boston's mantra, "We over me," embodies a philosophy that transcends the scoreboard. It's about collective effort, personal growth, and ambition. Despite biased whistles and phantom calls, the Fever's story remains one of inspiration. Did the Aces win because of talent, or because the rules bent in their favor? The answer may depend on perspective. What is undeniable is Indiana's courage, resilience, and determination. This series was a testament to heart, integrity, and fighting spirit. Even when the odds were stacked against them, fans, analysts, and players alike will remember this series not just for the controversy, but for the incredible fight the Fever displayed. Despite being undermined by inconsistent officiating, the Fever left the floor with dignity and pride. Let us know in the comments what you think about A'ja Wilson's special whistle. Did officiating steal this series, or was it just bad luck? Subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to never miss our deep dives into basketball's biggest stories. Because this series wasn't just basketball, it was a story of controversy, resilience, and unyielding human spirit.